It's the Church of Jesus Christ.
Many of us can still remember starting the school day by standing and reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. But today, in many areas of the country, any form of patriotism is being looked at as racist and divisive. Patriotism, which is simply the love for or devotion to one's own country, has been under attack for decades. As this globalist agenda has been pushed on society, we are now reaping the consequences.
I believe there is a war on America as America was founded. I've often asked the question, if 2024 had been 1776, would we even have an America?
Unfortunately, there's something in the cultural zeitgeist now that says America is evil, she's not worth protecting, she's a terrible nation. Well, there's nothing that could be further from the truth.
To be born in America is something that people don't realize the value of what they have, and it's very dismaying.
The youth of America have not been taught to appreciate the truth about America's history. Educators today are defining America by focusing on the worst parts of our history, diminishing our children's sense of patriotism.
Today's education system believes that America is flawed at its very foundation. They're wrong, but that's what they believe. So they have taught young people from kindergarten up that America is flawed at its founding. And that's what you do if you're going to destroy a culture.
America does not need that. We need to be unified. And one of the messages of 1776 is to bring people together. We stand together or we fall as a nation, because America is too diverse for every group to be its own separate group as opposed to being the whole of America. United, we're strong. Divided, we fall.
Anti-patriotism is a surging socio-political trend. According to polling data, the number of people who say they're extremely proud to be an American has been falling continually since reaching a modern era high after the tragic events of September 11th in 2001.
The young generation is not proud to be Americans, and I would tell you that it's because they don't know history. They don't know the sacrifice those people made, that we might be a great country.
When you think about the recent polling that said only 18% of Americans under the age of 30 think it's a great thing to be American, go back and think about how these young people back in the 1940s were lying about their age so that they could go and fight against Imperial Japan, fascist Italy, and the Nazi Germany. And now here today, we have these exact demographic that they don't even have any connection to America. And I think that it plays out in what we see happen at our college and university campuses when these young people are out there supporting an Islamic terrorist group, which on October the 7th of 2023 killed Americans and still holding Americans hostage.
I gotta say this as nice as I can. The people that hate America live here. The people that hate America benefit from the American value system. And then they want to turn around and essentially spit on the flag and say, oh, America's broke and America's all these different things. I just think it's being ungrateful. We're essentially spoiled as a nation.
And I believe that the deconstructing of America is in many ways intentional, to give way to a global Marxist police state.
The plan of the cultural Marxists is to replace traditional patriotism with a different version of what it means to be an American, one that eliminates God from the core of our nation's founding. Being taught these leftist views has spurred young people to turn against historical American values.
One of the tactics that the left is using today is to label anyone who has the audacity to love God and country. They're calling them white Christian nationalists, as if to love God and to love your country, to be a patriot, is a wrong thing. All that is a straw man created, there's no truth to it, created to try to make those who love God and country fearful and cause them to be silent.
The left derides anybody who professes a love for their country, no matter who they are, as some kind of bigot who necessarily hates other countries. It's not true. But if you follow what they're trying to say, it's because they don't think people can take care of themselves. They don't think people should be divided into countries of their own choosing. They think that people like George Soros, wealthy elites, these globalists, should control everybody and tell them how to live their lives, because that's what globalism is all about.
As stewards of what the Lord has entrusted to us, we stand, we pray, we speak. Yes, we fight for truth. And we've got to care more about what is true than the Marxists care about what is false. We must preserve our nation and not just give up.
In his Communist Manifesto, Karl Marx writes, quote, "Communism abolishes eternal truths. It abolishes all religion and all morality," unquote. So, in the Marxist view, you must eliminate God from society by replacing biblical justice, thereby removing God-given rights and liberties.
And so if we want to maintain a country that has individual liberties that are rooted in God, we have to fight the forces that are coming from the United Nations, World Health Organization, and in particular right now, the World Economic Forum. And we saw under the coronavirus how very quickly an agenda such as the World Economic Forum is promoting and pushing, called the Great Reset. Not a conspiracy. It's very disturbing for those who cherish American liberties.
It's incumbent upon us as individual Americans to love the nation that we live in. Not to think it's perfect, because it is not, but to love that nation because there has been so much blood and treasure that has been spent in helping this nation to get to where it is today, to be the most important nation in the whole world. Does that sound arrogant? No, I don't think so. Because when America does well, when America is in its A game, the whole world prospers from it. Our adversaries tremble, but our allies stand with us. So I think it's important to be proud to be an American, and that translates into what I consider to be patriotism.